For centuries, the sands of Sakara kept a colossal secret buried just out of sight. Deep underground lay a labyrinth of tunnels holding something almost unbelievable. Giant stone boxes carved with astonishing precision, some weighing nearly 70 tons. These massive granite sarcophagi, larger than many cars, were hidden in darkness, untouched for millennia. Who built these colossal coffins, and why? The answers, as we unveil the Serapeum of Saqqara, will take us on a journey into one of ancient Egypt's most mystifying and awe-inspiring marvels.
It was the year 1850. French archaeologist Auguste Mariette wandered through the desert at Sakara when something peculiar caught his eye: the stone head of a sphinx peeking out of a sand dune. Sensing he was onto a hidden treasure, Mariette assembled a team of workers and began excavating. Before long, they uncovered an entire avenue flanked by hundreds of buried sphinx statues leading off toward the horizon. This processional road, mentioned in ancient texts, hinted that Mariette was closing in on a fabled lost tomb. In November of 1851, Mariette's crew finally broke through into the hidden complex. With a thunderous blast of gunpowder, they opened a doorway into darkness, and Mariette stepped inside, lantern in hand. What he saw defied imagination: a long man-made tunnel stretching into the earth, its walls lined with side chambers, and in each chamber sat an enormous stone sarcophagus, looming silent and empty. He had rediscovered the legendary Serapeum of Saqqara, the burial vault of the sacred bulls. For over 1,000 years, these halls had served as a necropolis for Egypt's holiest animals, and now every coffin he opened was vacant and still. Looters from antiquity had long since removed the mummies and treasures, leaving only the Titanic coffins as echoes of the once grand burials. Each sarcophagus Mariette found was gargantuan, about 13 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 11 feet tall, carved from a single block of granite or diorite. Some of them, with their lids on, weighed on the order of 60 to 70 tons, as heavy as a dozen full-grown elephants. The craftsmanship was mind-boggling. Inside, the stone was polished to a mirror sheen, and the massive lid was so precisely fitted that not even a sheet of paper could slip into the seam. In total, about 24 of these stone behemoths still sit silently in the Serapeum's chambers. To understand why anyone would go to such lengths to entomb bulls, we need to delve into ancient Egyptian religion. These massive coffins were built for the Apis bulls, living bulls worshipped as gods on earth. In Memphis, the old capital of Egypt, a single sacred bull at a time was venerated as the incarnation of the creator god Ptah. When that bull died, the Egyptians believed it became one with Osiris, the god of the underworld. Each time a revered Apis bull passed away, priests performed elaborate funerary rituals. The bull's body was carefully mummified and then transported in a grand procession from the temple at Memphis to its tomb at Sakara. The whole nation might mourn the loss. Once the bull god was laid to rest in one of these colossal sarcophagi, a new young Apis calf was chosen to carry the sacred spirit, and the cycle of worship began anew. Over a span of some 14 centuries, at least 60 Apis bulls were interred in the Serapeum's chambers, each one honored with a burial fit for a king. Now, who actually created this vast underground mausoleum? The construction of the Serapeum was a project that spanned many generations of Egyptian rulers. The earliest known Apis bull tombs at Sakara date to around the 14th century BC, during the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. Back then, each bull had its own modest tomb somewhere in this necropolis. The idea of a collective bull cemetery came later. Around the 13th century BC, Prince Khemweset, a son of Pharaoh Ramesses the Great, oversaw the excavation of the first underground galleries for the sacred bulls. This initial network, now called the Lesser Vaults, was comprised of narrow tunnels with small side chambers to hold the coffins of the Apis. For a time, those smaller catacombs sufficed. But fast forward about 6 centuries to Egypt's late period, and the Serapeum saw an even grander expansion. In the 7th century BC, during the reign of Pharaoh Psamtik I, work began on the greater vaults. These new tunnels were dug on a much larger scale, taller, wider, and extending roughly 350 meters into the bedrock. It was in these great halls that the gigantic granite sarcophagi were installed. Over the following centuries, especially under the Greek Ptolemaic dynasty, new chambers and extensions were added until the complex became the sprawling maze we know today. Building and filling the Serapeum with these monoliths was a Herculean task. How did the ancient Egyptians manage to carve, transport, and position dozens of sarcophagi so massive that each could weigh as much as a space shuttle? Over the years, this question has fueled wild speculation. Some have even claimed the feat was impossible for ancient technology, spinning theories about lost civilizations or even alien assistance. But archaeologists have gradually uncovered clear evidence of the actual techniques the Egyptians used. Techniques that, while ingenious, were entirely within the abilities of human hands over 2 millennia ago. But the Serapeum is just one piece of the puzzle in Sakara. In fact, this whole necropolis has been experiencing a renaissance of discovery lately. Archaeologists keep finding new passages, tombs, and artifacts in the surrounding sands, showing that Sakara hasn't given up all its secrets. As astonishing as the Serapeum is, it's not the most unsettling thing researchers have found in Sakara. In fact, not far from these massive stone boxes, archaeologists have recently stumbled upon something that truly shocked them. Scientists probing another tomb in the Sakara necropolis discovered a find so disturbing and unexpected that it made headlines around the world. If you think the tale of the Serapeum was unbelievable, just wait until you hear about the horrifying discovery unearthed in this ancient burial ground. Join us as we delve into that chilling secret from Sakara's depths. It's a revelation you won't want to miss.
You know, everyone knows about the pyramids and the Sphinx, but so many of these mysteries are underground.
Sakara, which is one of the largest archaeological sites in the world, it's a subterranean complex. Academics say the dynastic people did this, but the stone came from Aswan, which is in southern Egypt. And so, you know, it's a very complicated, incredibly enigmatic, mysterious place.
Beneath the sands of Egypt's vast desert lies the Sakara necropolis, a site shrouded in mystery for over 4,600 years. What secrets are hidden within the world's oldest stone pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Djoser, and the labyrinth of underground tombs and tunnels? How did ancient Egyptians, with their rudimentary tools, craft massive granite sarcophagi so precisely that modern engineers still marvel at their skill?
How that was possible by the dynastic people is impossible.
Could this sprawling necropolis, home to some of the earliest known religious texts, hold clues to forgotten technologies or even connections to otherworldly beings?